Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to a bit of Pillars of Eternity, the White March Part 2. Part 2 of the White, no, Part 3 of the White March, Part 2. Yeah, so I want to, I'm not going to do a talking head as such, but I want to talk a bit more about the industry, today, because I've had some time to think about it and clear my head. Um, um, I'll just, oh god, we're here. I just remember where we are. I'm not looking forward to this bit. And again, that was a lot of mobs we had to clear in the last part, so... Christ, what does my phone want now? Here's two... Fuck's sake, don't bother. I've got unlimited data, you don't need to fucking tell me. Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry about this. Let's just play the game. So yeah, so I will talk a bit more about the industry today. Well, first of all, I'm not covering up too much. Maybe just a little bit. There we are. I apologise for all the coughing and spluttering I'm doing. No, it's not pleasant to hear. Lovely. Yeah, so... I've seen some pretty crap takes from people who don't fully appreciate what's going on in the industry. And clearly haven't paid attention to the news. Like, there's this idea, for example, that if we stop buying games and supporting them, you know, the devs will get let go. And here's the thing, you know what happens if we do? If a company makes record profits, the devs let go. If everyone in the world bought Spider-Man 2... What the fuck is going on in the interrupter? Oh, that's why I'm stunned. If everyone in the world bought Spider-Man 2, you know what would happen? Yeah, you need a healing train. You need to use your... Yeah, why don't you just engage? No, don't run into that... Oh, you fucking idiots. Blocking our path.
What is it?
Let's open that door back into here, okay. That's not good.
Well?
Sorry, where was I? Yeah. If everyone in the world bought a copy of Spider-Man 2, it wouldn't save Insomniac. You know why? Because there's money to be saved by not paying employees next wages. And not to mention as well, that if everyone in the world buys a copy of Spider-Man 2, you know what the target is for next year? For everyone in the world to do that again, twice. Because it's not enough to just have everyone have a copy. There has to be even more money taken out of people. Doesn't matter. Okay, so there's panels here. The 4 depressants behind the wall. Okay, so arrange the panels. So, let's have a look. Okay. Baron Shaw, the flourishing city at the time. So... Oh, so my thinking is the flourishing city gets burned, the wave washes the fires away, and the barren shore is all that's left. So, the flourishing city. Okay, looks in place. Next, it'll be the city in flames. City in flames with rock. Okay, and then the tidal wave's going to come along. And then I'll start the panel of the barren shore. We'll settle into the depression. This is the barren shore. Okay, so it's barren, and then we're going to do so the cities are going to be built upon it. Then there's going to be the City of Flames, of rock and roll. And then the tides are going to wash it away. Okay, something's clearly not wanted to work here, so that's fine. We'll just carry on.
I'm on the trail.
Right, can I just... fuck's sake. All that effort just to get that message. Yeah, so the thing is like, so the idea of supporting developers, one, they're paid a salary, so they're getting paid. Two, if they're going to get a bonus, I don't know about it, so it's not my job to pay their fucking bonuses.
Hello. Use the door behind me.
Okay, maybe there's some clues in here. So, it's not my job to pay their bonuses. As heartbroken as I am that, like, Obsidian did not get their bonus from, excuse me. Click, oh, for Christ's sake, what do you want? Why is it taking so much effort to get this information? I just want to click on the fucking thing. Turbulent river echoes faintly from the depths of the chasm. Let me just try this again, actually. Okay, so let's do the Flourishing City, the City in Flames, the Tidal Wave, and I'll press the Reset Stone button. Okay. Got the Tidal Wave, and then the Flourishing City. Never mind. No, I didn't have to do it. Let's keep going back. Let's figure this out. There's some clues back here, I can't remember. Yep, okay, nothing there. He can't tell me anything. Yeah, so like these people are going to get like a regardless. Like when Activision recorded record profits one time, you know what they did? They laid off 1,500 staffers. Now I get, okay, overhiring in COVID. That was 4 years ago. Yes, COVID is still around, unfortunately. But when I wouldn't describe us living in a period of COVID, you know? You know? Or lockdown. If you want to say lockdown, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. But we don't live in a period of lockdown. Just trying to see if there's anything back here that I might have missed. Nope. Quest Ornate Key. Let's have a look here. Okay, let's keep at it. Barren Shore. So the city has been built upon it. The tidal wave comes along and washes it away. Press reason. Okay, is it just as simple as flourishing city, tidal wave, recess stone? No, okay. Excuse me one second as I just look up the puzzle. In fact, let's do that now. Don't need it. Any of these? 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 Right. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. How much you do this, they're going to get rid of people. Like, we're no longer in a period of, like, overhiring from lockdown still matters. No. Don't get me wrong, I understand mergers aren't always going to be clean. It's like, Preach had said this before, and I've noticed this as well, like, sort of moderating guild mergers and whatnot. But I've seen guild mergers where it's a 10-man guild joins a 25-man guild, and they just fucking join a guild. You know, that's not a merge. With a lot of these mergers, like, for example, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Insomniac, do they need all of their employees if Sony's already got them? No, but that was sorted during the merge back then, not 3 years later. You know, or with Toys for Bob, yeah, a lot of the Toys for Bob staff aren't going to be needed for their time with Microsoft because they've already got lots of stuff there. I'm, you know, as part of my job, that if my office was to merge with another one, my role would probably not be as necessary in that environment, so I would fully expect to be let go. But this is different, though. This is because of the success, not just despite the success, because of the success of the game, that people are losing their fucking jobs, and that pisses me off to no end. So the solution to the puzzle is the same as that of the mural outside of the abbey, though you don't need to know it in advance. Okay. City in Flames, Tidal Wave, Barren Shore, Flushing City. Okay, so it is in flames. Right. So then, what was it? Tidal Wave. Barren Shore, Flourishing City. Perform the side of the tide, hidden on the carving. You curl your hand as Kyoto has done before, and position it over the carving of the wave. And using your other hand, you trace the arc of the crescent with your index and little fingers. Every rumble stirs in the ground, and from all around you comes the sound of rushing water. There we go. Nice. Let's save the game. We've earned that. Yeah, so these layoffs and sales of studios are just ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's not up to me to fund the sequel. You know, I don't particularly want to be in market research. I don't like the idea that if I buy 3 copies of a game, I'm helping towards the potential making of another Spyro game or anything like that, you know? I don't like that idea at all. I used to be naive enough to think that, no, I will do that, but no. Publishers are fickle. Yeah. Embedded in this deep semicircular slab is what appears to be a vessel for the sprinkling of holy water. In this context, however, it looks more like a lever. There are images engraved on the wall behind it, one of a rising wave and one of an open gates. Point over to all the open gates. So we've released the Iron Flail. No, not the Iron Flail, sorry, we've released the Ondrites. Brethren, do not harm them! Echoing voices reach your ears. The words are unintelligible, but you make out laughter, crying and cheers. Soon after, shouts of alarm resonate in the distance. With a click, the machine releases its hold on the strange rod. You pack the vessel away. Oh dear.
They'll fit right in with the rest of the crazy Deerwoodens.
Once again, the gods, the so-called gods, these amalgamations of Ingwithans, they think it's their domain to meddle with souls. No. So where do we go from now? So I've done this by making a few enemies with the Ondrites, but that's okay, because I know the deal with the gods. Yup, so... It's going to be one of those things where it's going to be interesting to see how Pillars of Eternity 2 turns out, knowing this information. I imagine it's takes some artists to load this. But yeah, I don't want to be the market research. Like, I'm the kind of person who will... I am genuinely one of these people who will say, I'll put my money where my mouth is. If I say, I'm going to buy this game no matter what, I will put my money there. Yeah? Or I'll say, look, I support this practice. I want to do it, whatever. You know? Sacred halls. Unsealed. Sacrilege. So yeah. So yeah, so I'm sorry, it's not up to me to do that, you know? It's not up to me to prop the devs up. That's the responsibility of their management and the publisher. And I'm all for supporting artists, but I want to know the truth about the game and its development and whatnot. So yeah. As I say, like I used to be someone who was like, I was rallying entirely for the devs and all this sort of stuff, and at the end of the day I'm like, I'm tired. I'm so tired, and we've known about this for so long. And I'm pro-union, and I'm like, and even I'm like, you know, like unions aren't going to solve everything, but I noticed with a lot of these news articles at the very end, you're reading things like people in unions were unaffected by these changes. I say unaffected, obviously they'd lost their colleagues and dear friends to layoffs and things like that. But they they have still kept their jobs though. I mean, there's plenty of times where we don't hear about unions not working, like certainly like when my dad's partner, God rest his soul, yeah, was part of a union, and they couldn't do jack shit to help her. And change the working conditions, which were appalling, and that's why she had to eventually leave that job and had to go elsewhere. Yeah. I'm basically just trying to farm some XP because Lord knows I need it. Like, if I want to take on the Hydra Dragon as well, I'm going to need to be about level 15, 16, I think. Minimum. Even then, like, I don't mind turning the game difficulty down to, like, whatever. Am I stunned or something? I'm prone. Be nice for that to be reflected in the status. Reflections. Nice. I love the knockdown, the crunch as well. I think we're going to take a rest after this because we're certainly going to need the help we can get. Yeah. But yeah, as said before, oh hello, okay. So, done 300 damage with at least 700 and all this. Okay, so deal 150 damage to prone enemies or 750 damage. So, 25% chance to get. Let's do Cast of the Hunt on. Here's our critical hit. Raw damage over time. Okay, that's good. That's good. I think that number's going up actually, I'm not sure. Let's rest up because I have not got much health. There are plenty of supplies here, and nothing in this game is time sensitive. Well, very little anyway. So yeah. I appreciate I speak as well from a privileged position of not having to basically uplift my entire life and move to California, only to lose a job after being there for 14 months, like what happened to Blizzard for some people. You know, it's like I'm very lucky to actually be in my job, and I'm grateful for every day that basically my pension pot is building up. You know, I used to be someone who's like, I don't care, I don't think I'm going to live that long. Fuck it. And now I'm like, every single penny that goes into that pension pot is for my darling dearest when I die. You know, death in service, great, you know. Because I want to make sure that she and perhaps our hypothetical children are well looked after. And I just hope that these people who, you know, yes, I said they're paid well. It's like, do they get paid enough to deal with the amount of shit that they do now? Practice the fucking danger money with the amount of. I think it's time to bring down a torrent of flame. Why not? I think I'll just kill the entire party. I'll consecrate the ground and see what that does. Don't think that really had the intended effect, did it? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to keep casting Restore Critical Endurance. Oh great, our tank's down and everyone's still fucking fighting. Shit. Okay, that was a bad idea. I think what we might need is that star surge ability. You know, like Call Holy Fire or whatever it was. Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah. But yeah, the idea that, oh, if we don't pay devs, if we don't support the devs, whatever that means these days, we won't get a sequel. And I mean, like, not to mention as well, like, I've actually been tempted to get Helldivers too, which is a completely different game from the first one. Helldivers was a top-down twin-stick shooter. You know what it is now? It's not a top-down twin-stick shooter. It's a third-person shooter. I don't deny that it looks very good for what it does. What gloves have I got right now? Fulvano's gloves, because I found here the healing hands. Restore light endurance, that's not enough. That is absolutely not enough. Everyone else can make any use of gloves now. No, no, no. Oh, and you've already got spider fingers anyway, which gives you that and +1 perception. I don't mind not taking on all of these enemies anyway.
Yes.
In fact, what have I got? I could always cast that light in there. There we go. Yep. Everyone run back. Not come to us. Oh, Crescent Wardens, yeah. That's gonna fuck us up. Oh, I'm dead. And of course, like Kana. True Kana fashion is the next to go, I think. Mind Gazer, smells it, yeah. Just shoot him. Shoot him before you die, inevitably. Can you dominate someone? Oh, I don't dominate them. Dominate them, I guess. Or don't. Yeah, take out the title first next. Christ, it's just these two. This is gonna be fucking miserable. Mind you, the fox is still alive. That's good. It's cool that the fox is still active. Yeah, knock him down. If you haven't already used your knockdown, I need to do some damage. I'll get the fox to flatline if I can. Because certainly you can block from behind. Used to be like an older rule in D&D as well, that like you have to face a certain direction to block. I'm still thinking of other RPGs as well. Right, let's see how they block Sacred Immolation. Okay, the belt of the Royal Deadfire Company now grants +2 intellect, and it's fully upgraded.
What is it?
We've got too much injuries again, so we can always rest up if needs be, but I think we're good to go for the time being. And whatever else is left in that room has now been cleared out, so that's good. But yeah, that torrent of holy fire seemed to do the trick. But yeah, I mean, look at Baldur's Gate 3. A very good game. I don't deny it. It's fantastic. But I struggle to say it's an actual Baldur's Gate game. It's very, very loosely tied to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, as I understand it. I mean, this is sort of why I like the idea of, like, Baldur's Gate 1, 2, Siege of Dragon's Spear, and all the expansions between. They are the Baalspawn Saga. Which is something of a spoiler, really, in its name, because you don't really learn what the Baalspawn is until quite a bit later in the game. It's really Baldur's Gate 2 and Siege of Dragonspear where you actually understand what that means. Even then, like, Siege of Dragonspear was made by the people remastering Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. So, yeah. Now, was there any loot in here? Let's have a look in here. No, kill the Mind Walker. Mages first. There's a wall of frost there, so we can't get through. Oh yeah, we can. Oh no, he's driven round it. Take out the Faith Blinder. Intruders. Although, if you're talking about us as one cohesive unit, then yeah, absolutely. Intruder singular. I'm sorry, I'm not being pedantic right now. Where to now? Rising tide. Yeah, I think we'll just go up. But yeah, it's like, how do I know the sequel I'm gonna get is the one I want, like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 4, you know? Or Sparrow Hero's Tale, a game I love, and did a Let's Play on. But is it one that, is it the Sparrow game you want, you know? Or Skylanders, that's an even more radical example, you know? We want a Spyro game, okay, here's Skylanders. The only way you're gonna get another Spyro game. Yeah. It seems now like you have to wait for anniversaries for these games to come out, like 25th anniversary, 30th anniversary. It's the only way you're going to get a lot of these remasters for older properties, or revivals of older properties, if these companies remember that they have them. Assuming they're not just rushed out.
You've made a grave mistake.
You've made a grave mistake. I will correct it in Ondra's name. So what do we got here? Tidal Fist, they're a pain in the ass. Let's bring down some Helipharian. Jesus wept. Kana's down again. Fuck my luck. I'm down again because I'm stunned. But not before I brought down some Heliphast, that's alright. Heal yourself up. Who's that? A knockdown, whatever the hell's up in here. Yeah, everyone's going down. This was a bad idea. We'll rest up, I think. Would be nice if, like, these guys were being softened up by the low tide or whatever, but I do like the combat music there. It's very Baldur's Gate. So yeah. It's like there's no guarantee that you're going to get a sequel. You can buy as many copies of the game as you like, and a lot of people buy games support in the hopes of supporting the developer, not realizing that the money's going to the publisher, not the developers. If they are getting shares and things like that, great, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. Yeah. I just wish them the best, but it's I'm sorry, I'm done with it being my responsibility. You know, I've said for a while now that I'm not interested. As soon as I move in with my partner, that's it. It's like my interest in video games is going to go plummet. Absolutely, just go down the shitter. But I just didn't want it to go like this way. I mean, it's basically an 80% speedrun. And you know what the sad thing is as well? I just want to make sure that I'm not covering up anything in my journal there. Not too dramatically, okay. The sad thing is that, like, if I don't do anything, like, there's someone out there who's spending more in a day in Fortnite, FIFA, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege. Christ, there's someone out there spending more in a month in Halo Infinite than I am in my entire year of gaming, an entire year of video games. Yeah. Right now, there's someone right now who spent more money in this minute on video games that I would have done this year. Yeah. Because games don't need sales anymore. Like not to mention support with the whole thing of sequels. It's like support it so you get a sequel. Like we haven't had sequels for ages for a lot of properties. You know, look at Ubisoft games with their time savers and all this sort of thing. You know, even they have time savers, DLCs out the wazoo. I think some single player games even have battle passes and whatnot, which I know is baffling, but yeah, a lot of games that might as well be single player games have them. You know, is there any? I can't really do any pre-buffing, can I? I can lay traps. What does that do? What else? So I cast Shining Beacon. What else can I do? See, look at this. I can't even pre-buff. Oh, hang on. Pie. We can all eat pie. And drink beer. This is the only pre-buffing we actually get in this game. I hope they've changed the simplicity too. See, the thing is that a lot of this isn't going to be by accident either. There will be a design reason for it. Yes, thank you. Third time's a charm. Yeah, it's like Fortnite's the biggest game out there right now. You know, how do I compete with that? Like, how do I stop buying games as a protest to this industry shite and, you know, just sort of carry on? You know, if 10 people, if 100 people stopped buying games or whatever, there's one person who's spending more money, because it's like I hate the term whales, but that's what these people are. They're whales. They you know, they're the whales in a very small pond, and we're the little fish. You know, I appreciate I've just completely butchered that analogy, but you get the idea. Doesn't change the fact that, you know, like people like me, we're the dying breed. There's people born into, and this is something that people don't fully appreciate. There are people being born into the games industry now, whose first interaction with games is something like Minecraft or Fortnite. You know, they don't understand the concept of playing a game, of buying a game, putting a disc in a console and just owning it. Yeah, I mean it's been that way for it's not been that way for a very long time, but yeah, you get the idea. Oh, summons. I can do some summons. Right, you need all the drugs. No, 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 no. I've got ingredients. But you can't actually eat the ingredients, okay. Oh my god, how much food have we got? Okay. Because I really do want to make sure that I win this fight. So, darkest route eye cookies. Where have they all gone? Oh, are they in Sun's inventory now? Yeah. So, yeah. So it's a losing battle, I'm afraid. It's like me not doing anything is not a powerful stance. Compared to other people just carrying on the way they are. And there's no incentive to stop, you know? Games, at the end of the day, the games are still being made, and you know, it doesn't, you know, like to most consumers, they don't care. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't care as much about other industries where these layoffs are normal. But it's the one I've been exposed to. It's the one I follow. It's the one I'm not gonna lie, I just actually care more about. If that's hypocritical, fine, I'm a hypocrite. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just pissed off. I'm just gonna stay pissed off. Oh, I'm not gonna stay pissed off because I'm just gonna stop caring eventually. Um, you know, but I think unionizing is going to be a very big first step towards helping out devs. What's Grave Step doing? 25% hits compared to crits. Less endurance. Oh dear. I don't particularly want to give you that, I don't think. Let's give it to our DPS guys. There we go. Okay. What else we got here? Flask of War Paint. I think that's a potion, isn't it? So I can't drink that. Great. That's fantastic. What other food stuffs we got? I think it's mostly just... It's the food. Oh, I don't think we're going to do very well in this next fight. Food. I don't think we made the casserole yet. We've already made the cookies. Pearlwood chicken, I think we've already done. Rat sweet pie, I think we've already done savoury pie. Speckled back. Jerky. The dragon meat dish. There's no point making scrolls or anything like that, because that's not going to be much use. Okay, say it again. I don't want to lose anything. I don't lose all loss. All this to fight some fucking priest and some wet-fisted ninnies. Let's go. Let's fucking. But yeah, no, I'm pissed off at the industry. I'm trying my best to unwind, but it's hard to. I don't know. I think once I'm back at work, yeah, I don't know. Give Reddit a break maybe, because I'll just unsubscribe from the gaming places because I just can't deal with it. It's not my capacity for. It's not my capacity for compassion is going down. It's just I just don't want to be angry anymore. There we go. So a lot of these effects are already suppressed by other things. But they're still there. The drinking horn of moderation is not even effects because I've got other things going on. Okay. It doesn't even fit on the screen. That's fucking fun. I love Karna's portrait there. It reflects perfectly like how much crack he's just taken at this moment in time. Any pre-buffs that you can offer? I think most of these are actually just going to be enemy effects. Yeah. I can use that in combat. Oh my god, it's not fair. Maybe pissing this guy off wasn't the best idea, but I think I'm going to end up doing that anyway, whether I let go of the low tide or what. I don't know, do I need to fight some dudes? Get some more XP? Fight that dragon? I don't know what to do to get XP.
You've made a grave mistake.
Yep, okay. Shit. I've just ran straight into the melee there. No. Consecrate ground, let's start with that. Oh, fuck's sake, it's not. And great! So, where are you, buddy? You take out the Faith Binder. You shoot them when you're good and ready. In fact, mark prey on that. Let's have Sacred Immolation. You carry on doing what you're doing. What's your current action? Can I see what your current action is? Oh, never mind. No, I'll just cancel it instead, shall I? Flurry Lightning. Oh, there, if you want to do that. Forget your spell. Do that, please. You're using Sacred Immolation. Let's start healing everyone. Can't heal yourself up. Use your defenses. Put down whoever you're looking at. Right, 5 phrases done. Great. Summon the Drake. Now. Summon it. Here. Let's have some flame breath. Right, Drake, your responsibility is... Drake. No, not the artist. Yeah, okay, he's keeping him occupied. Great. I want you to shoot them. Shoot the mind gates, please. Heal yourself up. Shouldn't need me to tell you that. If you can revive me, great. I can start laying down some faith. Down some Jesus. Consecrate ground us down. Great, let's up our defenses. There we go. Just before I die, let's help everybody up, shall we? Minor Avatar. Oh. Oh. Let's have some minor intercession. No, never mind, I'm dead. I'll just stay alive just to cast one more phrase. Get everyone attack speed up! Oh, fucking hell, no, never mind. Binding roots. Any items you pack? Potion of major endurance, take it. Drink the fucking potion! Jesus, what? Oh, that did nothing. Iron skin, drink it. No, no, man, you're dead. Great, this is gonna be fucking brilliant, isn't it? Just die. All of you fucking die, Jesus Christ. In fact, the high abbot's nearly dead. He comes back from dead. No, it's fucked. It's so close though. So very, very close. So I got the right idea. I think, God, it's just a shame that I can't activate some of my buffs before the combat begins. That's bad. I'm sorry. Like, not being able to cast defense spells on my characters before we go into a fight. That's inexcusable. No, don't do that, games. No, I want a pre-buff. It's like, if I can't buff people if I'm fucking dead, you know? If you can do it, the enemies can do it. Yeah, fine. That's absolutely fine. Let the enemies do it. Let enemies pre-buff and all that sort of stuff. That's not a problem. That's lowering the effects of it. But the only thing I can do... Oh, no, that's not even a buff. Causing enemies in the area to take penalty towards it. I thought it was increasing our defenses. Never mind, can't do that. I could do offensive stuff. But if you dare try to defend yourself... Me running. I'm already pissed off enough, Billers. Yeah. So...
I will correct it in on.
Right, you're the pain in the ass. I'm pulling back. Here. No, here. Disengage. Oh, for Christ's sake, right. Now, let's buff everyone's defenses. Let's have some healing. You set fire to yourself. Let's have a Storm of Holy Fire down, please. When you're good and ready. Yep, I've seen. Okay. Use that. Kinda need some help. Minor Avatar. Hopefully that... if I can save myself, I can save my allies. Okay, if you're just gonna take hits, I need that Drake now. Summon it right behind him if you can. Ah, the Drake's fucking dead already. Unless I can get back Kana in time. What buffs have I got? I ain't gonna get killing blows, so there's no point doing that. Let's crit the ground. Okay, what else can I do? Let's actually use a water ability. Bypass the target's defenses. I don't want the duplicates of The guy, I want the actual guy. Oh, I think he's split into the duplicates, okay. Palagina. Revive Kana, please. Aha, okay, right, agree with everyone's attack speed. 40% attack speed, damage reduction, and 50%. Nice. This guy's fucking dead. There we go. Well done. That was much better.
As you wish.
Can I just have like an all consumables button? Just hit it and just eat all food before a battle. Save me so much time. Because I'm going to do that anyway. But yeah, that's over. I'm glad. I'm so fucking glad that's over. I don't need that anymore. Okay, I think we'll wrap this bit up and then I'll end this part. But yeah, so I apologise if I haven't managed to get to any comments talking about the industry and my thoughts on it, but yeah, I plan on just marathoning this. I'd like to finish the entire game today, actually, because there's basically just the wrapping up episode, and I might even not do that because you've seen the Ardra Dragon, so yeah. But it would be good for you guys to have like a complete look at the ending that I got, and then you can carry on. But yeah. Honestly though, regarding gaming news though, it's like it's not going to get any better for the rest of the month. It's all going to be layoffs, a layoff after layoff after layoff, because that's all it is. We're in March now. That's just what happens. That's just what we've got to expect. Reach the reliquary of the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. Okay. 7.4% of players have this achievement. How interesting. I'm not surprised, to be honest.
You have laid eyes on what we see now, Watcher.
Judge by the distance. Wow, like a rock. Oh, there was like a state continuous. Okay. I like it just forces that decision. Right, yeah, but I'm right, staying. One second, just want to save the game, and then we'll carry on. But yeah, it's like it's March now. The rest of the month's gonna be layoffs as companies try to save money. Yeah. You want another example of a sequel that didn't need to happen? Payday 3. If you give your money to the developers, we can fund a sequel. Okay, Payday 2 is still the more popular and better game in just about every respect. You know? Or, who remembers Raid? I don't mean Raid Shadow Islands, I mean Raid, the World War II heist game. Remember that? I think that's what it's called anyway. You know, by Starbreeze. Released during Payday 2. Zero fanfare. Zero fucks given. And it died on release because no one cared. I played the beta. I think I managed to get one match. I prefer Payday 2. I like the idea of it. You know, heisting Nazi gold, that's fucking brilliant. But, yeah. So all that money was just wasted. I genuinely wonder, I think you can actually find it on like Steam charts. Not Steam charts, like Steam DB or something. Like how many copies were sold. I'd love to see the figures for that. I don't think anyone's going to turn around and say, well, what about the console players, John? Okay, the console players bought... There were 3 console copies. Ah, this is the mural. Intruder! Oh, no, he's only just noticed. If I hadn't talked to him, everything would have been fine then. Yeah, this is the first time I've actually seen a monk be of any use. That wasn't sour. But I think this is the only time I've seen a monk. I don't see many of them. They were in the base game, near as I can tell. But monks haven't always existed in, like, RPGs. Like, monks were pretty much like, let's be honest, they were inspired entirely by martial arts movies. You know? Gygax and Co. Say as much. That's alright, if he wants to lower himself into the fight, that's absolutely fine by me. But yeah. Yeah, let's clear the place out, why not? Get some XP. Because their numbers are so much fewer now than before, so... makes it all the better. Yeah, we need to take out that guy. He's a pain in the ass. These paladins... they're tanky, but... without, like, the... great swords or whatever, they ain't much use. I might actually we're closer to doing my soulbound weapon. A 5 out of 13 to do the first level. Great. Or is it the last level? I don't know. It might be the last level actually. But I have to meet that one condition. It's not a case of like just do that this much damage.
Well?
It's my accuracy anyway. 91, that's not bad.
Of course.
What's that? Oh, yeah, I knew it would show something. Oh, great. There's actually quite a lot here. Consecrate ground. Defenses. You know the score. Just go with the spellcasters. They're the ones doing the most damage. Tanks are just a distraction. But yeah, monks, like, there's some cool stuff about monks. Like, there's like prestige classes with things like ninjas, or spellcasters and whatnot. But yeah, there's no deeper meaning. It's like, you know, the creators like, yeah, we just love, you know, Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee flicks. So we'll just make a class around them, you know. That was it. That was the thought process, and God bless them for it. Because I do like monks. I think they're a cool concept. Yeah. I love I guess like anti-classes, which are like classes that you just think just wouldn't work, and it turns out they actually do. It's like such an unpredictable thing, and it turns out to be its own thing. It's why I like Pathfinder. A lot of the stuff in Pathfinder is really cool. You can take levels in Commoner or detective, and like it's not just about offense. Get this right, you can actually do things outside of combat. Yeah. Unlike in Pillars of Eternity, you can cast spells out of combat. You can actually do stuff. You actually roleplay in your role-playing game. Right, it's amazing.
Of course.
Who'd have thunk it? I love the sound effects of these punches. Doesn't sound very tidal. Use this heal yourself. Suppose I actually better do some healing. Oh no, no, I've already done it. Okay, Dragon's Maw. Kill 10 enemies with Dragon's Maw shield. Do the next level. Okay. So does that mean kill with it equipped, or actually kill them with the shield? Does the shield do damage itself? Like just as opposed to bashing or something like that? Bash, yeah. 10-15 damage. Okay. Fear aura. Okay, so enemies around me are terrified. When they have enemies below 26% endurance. Not bad. Foe target plus 2 meters from the radiance of the caster. They are terrified for 3 seconds. That's not bad. Not bad at all. What if this guy's okay with me broaching now his mistress is dead? Or possibly dead. Oh, they've buggered off. Just got what they wanted. Let's rest up mine up. Okay. We'll read the stuff there as well. The morning is cold and silent. You are upon the plateau of the birthing bell, and there is no sound, no wind. The sky is a smooth, mortared grey, the forest beneath the plateau nothing more than a jagged black silhouette. Even the rock, the ardor around you, feels colder. The sun's warmth bled from it. Against the cold backdrop of the sky you see the great birthing bell hanging from its arch of ardra. Its surface is tarnished, and the shadows inside the bell are dark. Still, it seems to press down upon you, or simply, sadly, watching, as if standing above a grave formed from the table of the plateau and the remains of the mother's womb that now cover its surface. And there is something heavy in your hands. It breathes, gurgling, slick and wet. Yet that is all it is. You find yourself filled with fear. You don't want to look at what you are holding. You don't want to touch it with your mind, and it's all you can do to not cast it from your hands. Examine what lies in your hands. The mass before you is vacant. Flesh in the shape of a newborn. Bubbles of saliva bunch at the mouth, expelled by a steady gurgling breath. Its arms, legs, head lolling, limp. No thought, no struggle, no desire to cry in protest or pain. There is nothing from within. There is an absence in your hand. Your hands tremble, shake, as the silence is broken and the chimes on your wrist echo with the trembling. The chimes do not echo in the thoughts of the mass in your hands. There is no soul within to hear it. Reach out with your thoughts. The only emotions blanketing the plateau are in the pain of the mother. The child breathes, its heart beats, but it makes no cry. The child feels light, empty. There is no joy in it, no fear, no thought at all, yet... Hang on a second, if it feels light, it was a heavy wet mass before, and now it's light. There's something heavy in your hands. Okay. There is no joy in it, no fear, no thoughts at all. It's an orange cat. Yet, in the hollows inside it, it breathes, a thing of habit, not life. You cannot move. Your trembling has subsided, and the birthing chimes on your wrists are still as the child. The mother is crying, eager to see, begging to see the child. You feel a sudden spike of fear, being hunted. If you give the child to the mother, you will be blamed, and her anguish and her rage shall fall upon you. She will not spare you or anyone you love of this your son. But you did not cause this. You don't think you caused it. And the mother begs, her arms outstretched. Hand to the child. The chimes sound out once more as you give the child to its mother. The face chimes. The chime fades. There is an eager gleam, the wailing of joy, the questioning, and you draw upon it deeply, letting the hope stream into her eyes, letting her ears fill with the cries that you have heard countless times past from the other children of the bell. You hear the laughter in the mother's voice, in streams of tears that run down her face, and with a practiced motion you weave a life that will be into her eyes and thoughts. She will care for the child as if it were whole until you set her free. She will care for it until you find a way to heal what has happened, until the reality cannot be dispelled anymore. And still cradled beneath the weeping woman that birthed it, the child in her arms doesn't hear the cries of the mother, does not react. It is an empty thing that breathes and carries nothing from within it. And the chimes on your wrist lie still. They are bound to you like chains, never to sound inside a newborn's mind ever again. Wake up. Oh. Let's just read this real quick. So, with a few well-placed hexes in the final show of Arcane Power, Aeloth was able to convince Lord Cedric's rival to seek wealth elsewhere. Nice, well done. Just make sure there's absolutely nothing else I need to buy. Great. I'm disappointed with the ending. If you don't kill the Archdemon, the Archdragon.
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
I have questions for you. Let your mind speak for you. I shall listen past the words. I saw a hollow born at the birthing bell. Your mother's head bows, and she raises her hands, cradling slowly, but the chimes do not sound as she moves them. You feel a chill in the air, as if the vault of your mind is growing too large for the thoughts within, and your breath is laced with a chill. Yeah, that's probably because we're in the White March, but okay. To your horror, you hear her breathing, ragged, hacking, but strangely steady. As you... Ragged and steady. Hacking, okay. And you can see saliva bunching at the corners of her lips, becoming thick ropes of drool that cast themselves down her chin. There is the smell of blood in the air, new, wet, and the salt, sharp tang in your mind, coupled with this the smell of sodden undergarments cloying at your senses. Take her shoulder, try and steady her. Stepping forward, your hand falls on her shoulders, and you feel begin to fall, rigid as a falling stone. You place your other hand on her shoulder to steady her. Throughout there is the horrid, steady breathing. Her clothes are wet, as if she is burning with fever beneath the tangled hair and breathing beneath her threadbare robes, as if she is giving birth. At a slow hissing intake of breath, her head rolls back on her shoulders, her eyes pressed tightly together like the lids of a newborn. Yet past the lids you can feel the piercing stare, vacant, cold, horribly. You sense nothing from her, not a thought, like the hollow bone you held in her memory. You know, if you try to pull her away now, she will vanish into herself, and vanish from her thoughts, perhaps forever, and you have a terrible feeling that whatever connects the two of you will be cut. She is helpless as a child before you as a child, and you said your thoughts were a way to coax her to you. Intellect 20, sound the birthing chimes in your mind. She jerks slightly before you, then her head tilts, and the steady breathing breaks as she gives a racking cry.
I thought it was my doing. I thought that I had stilled it with my thoughts. The child. It was just a child. What was done with it?
I do not know. I think you helped give birth to the child, then gave it to the mother. Her breathing is steady again. There is a life in it where there was not before, and her emotions are building in her. Apprehension and confusion welling up. She seems afraid to do more than simply be aware the memory is there.
It was not the last Hollowborn on the birthing bell, and never again did I hear a child's cry.
You have found a death within me, one that many women have borne within them. The worlds swirl with impulses and weight, spiraling around it, and you feel as if your hands... you feel as if you are being dragged into it. I sought to serve women in need, and instead my hands ushered no new life. What happened next, I bear the responsibility for. What happened next?
The first birth was the deepest, the saddest. Nothing I could do could find the child's spirit, guide it to him.
You feel a strange absence between you, as if your thoughts are being shared across a great distance. The thought bleeds out for a moment, and returns, sharp, yet personal. I like that first sentence. A strange absence between you, as if your thoughts are being shared across a great distance. That, I think, is possibly the most evocative line I think I've actually read in all purple prose that there's been in this entire game. I felt that, you know? That's good. Quite appropriate as well. That's the sort of thing that ciphers do. I could not understand what had happened. What I might have done, I feared No, I could not dwell on that thought. The child was always there, always a reminder of what had happened, a marker. I had made her care for it. I made them all care for it until I could find what had gone wrong. But the Hollowborn, it wasn't your doing, it happened elsewhere.
Little word of the outside world reached us. It was enough time for rage and pain and grief to guide hands. I feared what would happen to the children, what would happen to me. Every mother knows her womb may shed a stillborn, but these cold, soulless creatures, the parents wouldn't have understood, and fear of the unknown breeds violence.
What happened then?
I held their minds within mine. I shaped and guided them as long as I could, and with each passing day, each new birth, the strain grew, and the more I felt my control slipping, the more I focused my thoughts. Eventually, even I succumbed to the power of my own illusion. I'd woven the threads so tightly that I could no longer see through them.
And then one morning, I heard funeral bells tolling in the village. The sounds of wailing rose through the mists. Her mother had died, her mind so focused on the care of her Hollowborn child, she neglected to feed even herself. And with that the illusion broke. The townsfolk saw their Hollowborn the way they were, not the way they'd wished to see them. By the end of the day, they began to look at me differently too. I did not understand what had happened, but I knew enough to flee. Every other suspicion that surfaced, every faded memory of what I'd done, I pressed down, tucked it away. She feels cold, lonely, rigid. My skill failed me, but I did what was necessary. I regret the mother's death, but how much worse would it have been if I had not acted? Protecting innocent lives is worth any price.
Yes. And yet, was the mother not also innocent? Did she not also deserve my protection? I feel the purity of my reasons, and yet little satisfaction for what I've done.
The right thing is not always easy, and yet if we can redeem the lost children of the dear wood, our struggle will be worth it. The grieving mother's mind is silent and still for several moments. She lets your words wash over her, seeping into the cracks in her own thoughts.
My actions only caused more misery. Worse, I took from an entire village, made them as empty and helpless as the children I sought to protect. But you feel it was right to hold and direct their minds, even knowing the cost?
You do not know the cost then. We must often platter courses with imperfect knowledge. I see all of these that I like. You do not know the cost then. We must often plot our courses with imperfect knowledge. Yeah, that's actually quite appropriate. Mercy gave the children a chance, and it brought their families joy, if only for a little while. A fresh and innocent life is valuable above all things. Yes, it was worth it. I'm gonna go for option 2.
A melody, brief yet sweet, a fragile thing to cherish while it lasts. A short turn of the wheel, but a turn all the same. Your words have soothed my mind in ways I did not expect. I thank you, Watcher, for the gift of your sight, for using it to guide me out of the prison of my mind. Let us hope it can also free you from the illusions Theos has woven around you.
Dream and memory. It's not really a task. Okay, have I finished it? Is it completed? Good, it's not there. Let me zoom in. Dream and memory is complete. If still haunted by actions of the birthing Bella's will, her ultimate failure to protect the Hollowbone there, nevertheless she did the best she could at the time. If we find an opportunity to reverse the legacy, I know it will be worthwhile, whatever the cost.
Well?
There we go. So that's the Mother's Quest done. So yeah. So the thing is, basically, the idea is there's several ways you can sort of end the game. It's like, what I did is I decided to turn all the souls to the wheel. That means that they can enter new bodies. So unfortunately, there will be an entirely lost generation. But when people eventually start fucking fighting and breeding, the generation will be born and their souls can go into those bodies. You can put the souls into the current Hollowbone. But yeah. I seem to have missed that chest. I do apologise earlier for my remark about not having the option of going ahead. But still, should have been an option. And take the consequences. This might well be the point of no return, actually. So with any luck, we might eventually end this expansion here. But we'll see. If we need to do any more side quests, we can. I don't mind doing that in the next part. Okay. Examine the skull. Oh. Apologies, I missed that. Okay, so pull out the metal frame. The splinters of metal begin to glow orange. Heat surges up your hands and arms and envelops you with such intensity you feel as though you're melting down. The heat spreads to the world around you, turns it orange and then yellow, and then white. The ground, the sky, everything around you drips in molten globs and begins to take shape beneath you as if in an invisible mold. You're in the shard of the last things to melt and fall, and your addition to the molten pool completes the shape of an immense hammer. The metal cools as quickly as if it had heated. The handle is now gripped by two great leathery hands, and the hammer is cocked back over his shoulders, broad as mottled as a hilter. The wielder whirls around and heaves the hammer, as if you are flying upward for what seems like ages into the air. It's the airless blackness above. As you spin, you catch glimpses of rock, large enough to be a moon. It is close, too close to the world. The force of the impact shatters hammer and stone alike. The rock is redirected outward, but a section of the front face is cleaved off and begins to fall, splintering apart at the cracks. In 100,000 fragments blossoming outward in all directions, debris showers the atmosphere, trailing smoke and fire. Below, land and sea are far off, but gradually rising up. Let's look at the land. Features are becoming clearer by the moments you streak toward the earth. You are lodged in an enormous boulder, falling among many other smaller fragments that heat burst around you on all sides. I believe that's the barren earth there. Beneath you, snow-capped mountains rise up, dotted here and there by cities of stone and Ondra. The impact will be the destruction of all of them. Look to the sea. The largest of the fragments, wide as the city, barreled downwards in a fiery cocoon. Its size reduces the edges as the edges immolate, but it won't burn up in time. It lands silently in the distant ocean, sending a column of water skyward and radiating ripples that spread like wrinkles in fabric. The sound comes tearing up through the sky. It sounds like thunder. The shadow of your rock fragment is now visible. It's visible now, getting larger by the second. You are moments away from striking the ground, and a massive shape throws itself into your path. The last thing you hear, like another rumbling impact. That isn't what it was. It's a chuckle, relieved, breathless. You hear two words. Made it. Everything goes dark. You open your eyes. The metal hammer fragments has come free, and you now hold it in your hands. It's warm to the touch. The air around you is suddenly turbulent, spiteful. The cold, damp wind whips your face. Salt crystals collect in your nostrils and the creases of your eyes. The floor below you becomes blue-grey and glassy, churning and rolling. When you fall, you crash through water. Violent waves hurl and spin you. Something slithers around your ankles, seizes you with incredible strength, drags you into its silty depths. Just taking the time. Okay, we're all good. When the pulling stops, you are hovering at the center of an endless blue abyss. You can neither see surface nor floor. You seem to be facing downward, but there is no way to be sure. A voice sounds from everywhere at once, with the immense pressure wave of each utterance sending you reeling.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury. Speak! Explain yourself and be judged.
I would love to go for option 4. Who are you calling wretch, wench? When I know what the gods are. I don't have any respect for them. So, I don't give a shit. Which option? I'm gonna be honest. I seek a means of defeating an army that threatens my lands.
You seek what is mine, what was rightfully lost. Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened, the forge ignited.
I do like Ondra's voice. Good voice actor, and direction as well.
You set free souls that hid from me, that stole from me and evaded my judgment.
Genuine anger there. I like that.
The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried.
That's Berath's domain. Get fucked. The turbulence around you calms. Silt settles like a slow exhaltation, and the vast dark seascape beyond the murk fades in. Rays of light trickle down from far above onto green-gold columns of kelp that rise from the depths and sway back and forth in the current. I just want to check something. I do have Pillars 2 installed, don't I? That'd be really fucking stupid if I didn't. You know, I kind of do need it installed. And I haven't got it installed. I'm an idiot. 125 hours in that game. Jesus wept. Fucking turn-based. Where was I? Let's refresh this real quick and then I'll get back to you. Okay. Yeah. The nearest pass we'll see with watchful eyes. What do you mean the forge is meant to be forgotten?
It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin.
Okay.
When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself.
Yep.
They would have destroyed themselves in the end.
How convenient that we'll never know.
You need only look to the history of your own civilization for assurance.
That's the thing, Ondra. You want people to forget. You want to bury the past. I'm very lucky to have the history of my own civilization to look at.
How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the objects of their ambition?
But if they didn't have ambition, they wouldn't be leaders.
I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon.
Okay, I appreciate the compassion. Looking more favourably in my book. What does it matter if something is remembered or forgotten? It's in the past in any other case.
Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher.
It's whether we care or not. I'm gonna go with Stoic.
Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten?
That's true.
Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth. Or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had. Or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister. Or the Glonthothen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors.
I do like that they're going through pretty much every memory that all Watcher encounters that you've gone through. It's a shame
They could be free from their burdens,
that
if only they could forget.
1, 2, 3, 4 examples are given. It's kind of a testament to how lacking the Watcher elements of the game actually are, especially in side quests. Their problems go deeper than memory. Simply forgetting them does not make them go away.
For some, perhaps. But for many, the memory is all that remains of it. Even when problems have run their course, memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss.
Be that as it may, I must reject your moral paradigm because it engenders an incomplete conception of the good that fails to consider the importance of testing the soul. I get its intellect, but come on. No need to put it that way. Let me just read this again. Be that as it may, I must reject your moral paradigm because it engenders an incomplete conception of the good that fails to consider the importance of testing the soul. Let's just go.
Indeed. And what has led you to conclude you know better than a god, mortal?
Well, one, you're not a god, so sub that. I like how it says never mind. It's like your character just can't come up with anything better. Your supposition that peace of mind is tantamount to the overall good is a flawed premise. Empirically, we know that the struggle and inner turmoil strengthen the soul as often as they strangle it. Yeah, it's true.
That hardly sounds like an improvement on inner peace. Is that the extent of your argument?
Yes, that's all. No, actually, I submit to you that, yeah, can I just say, you're not a god, so sit down and shut up. It's like, seriously, this is kind of something that needs, I get that, you know, the latter half, or rather, the final quarters of the game were rushed. But, like, I really would genuinely love to see more dialogue, especially in this part, where it's like, yeah, I've actually made the progress. I don't care about the gods. Or I know what you are. You don't threaten me, you don't... You know, it's like, I'm the only one who can stop Theos. You can do nothing right now. Yeah? Like, Rudica has affected more change and she's dead. You know? What are you gonna do? Talk to me when I'm on the wheel. No, actually, I submit that life is a framework to test the soul, and there's an untested soul with us from disuse. Yep, use it or lose it. Consequently, it is better to test the soul in order that it should thrive. If it breaks, it is no worse off than if it were tested at all. This is basically, all this has basically just been arguing, like, Ondra's basically arguing for dementia. And my character's saying, yeah, if you do a crossword every day, you can stave off dementia.
Your reasoning is interesting.
It's correct.
Perhaps there is something to it.
There is.
But it is not my will to simply do good.
Your will is just an amalgamation of souls. I don't give a shit.
Those broken souls that fail your test, those are the ones I love most. For no other god will have them.
You're not a god, they're not gods, so...
What small mercies they ask of me, I will always grant.
What, forgetfulness and being drowned?
Was there something else, mortal?
What are the bones of one god doing still in the temple of another?
Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me.
It's...
Abidin did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy.
Sorry. Do not play coy with a god. If you're so high and mighty, you could have given a better resting place than, I don't know, a public display in your temple. I would undesert. Least you could do, yeah.
The least I could do for ending his life.
Oh! Light drains from your surroundings. The kelp forest becomes a corpse of black tendrils, stark and twisted as regrets.
I called the moon down to me. Ioni brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason. Would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon. But it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself.
Hang on a second. That skeleton is Abaddon. So the game can't seem to make its mind up. Either the gods are real, and they have physical manifestations, and Abaddon coming down to catch the rocks and prevent the city from being destroyed, that was real, or the gods are basically just supercomputers. Souls trapped in these Aedra stones that you see here in the background. Yeah? Like, I don't mind either one. I just wish the game wasn't so embarrassed to be a fantasy game and, like, try and divorce itself as much from fantasy to realism as much as possible. But anyway, let's carry on. I thought Berath and... yeah, with the moons.
The only brother is their smaller sibling, tiny next to them.
Also shattered. Small enough that the world would survive its impact. Oh, thank God for that then. But why the temple? Why the secrecy?
That time has been forgotten now. And so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact.
But you slew another god. Surely the other gods know this. Surely Abaddon must know. Current surges through the kelp bed, pushing each plant sideways like saplings in a hurricane and propelling you backward amidst a torrent of wayward fish.
No! He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body.
Preservation? So that was why he went so far to oppose you.
We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice.
Right, but... but that was the whole purpose of becoming gods. I suppose they're saying, not directly, okay, fine. But... no. The Engwithans pretty much merged souls and like that. Like little balls of clay being smushed together and moulded into the shape of God. Precisely to alter the course of Kith civilization, to prevent holy war. Yeah? To actually make gods, whether or not the others existed or not, the Engwithans would choose to be gods. But some of them did, others were lured into it by the leading key, etc., etc.
But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late.
What was he trying to preserve?
Time has finished much of what I started.
Just fucking
I cannot
tell me.
tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work.
Okay, fine, fair enough. I can't tell you that much mortal for fear of... Right. You make it sound as if you're the same one.
The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments.
I would like to have seen this. Like, the gods actually sort of like tearing at the seams and little bits of Engwithan coming out. We see how much of their humanity, whatever they were, remains.
To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution.
I hope we're going to find out what this thing is against Ondra's wishes. On the one hand, I like mystery. On the other hand, I just don't care. I think... yeah, okay, let's go with it. Let's say that it's fine, it's a mystery. And, oh, it must have been so devastating they had to do all this damage, okay.
When I called down Ioni brother, they remained silent. Even Abaddon. He knew it was for the best, but he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. I could have stopped it.
But he was going to... I'm not going to argue.
Ask.
Why did you pull down Ioni brother?
The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails.
Okay, well, at least the Inquithans realise that.
Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. That's fine, fair enough.
The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them.
You mean you're talking about the Inquithans?
I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity.
The army that destroyed the dwarves, the eyeless, are they yours?
What the world casts aside, I take into
Oh,
my care.
okay.
A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here.
Can you not just say yes or no?
They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning.
See, this is all good after you've said yes or no.
I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine.
They are Abaddon's, I saw them forged. I just asked, that army that destroyed the dwarves, the eyeless, are they yours? Now they're saying they are Abaddon's. I saw them forged. So why did I need to ask if they're Ondra's or not? These questions should be reversed, surely.
They were his once. I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora.
You won't deny it. You've spent 2 sentences explaining to me. No. You spent 3 sentences explaining to me. Denying it, rather. Just to get to this point, to drag it out. You know, I've always said that, like, I really sort of felt this way with God of War 1, the new God of War games. Beginning with, like, just one called, I think it's like 2019, 2018 God of War. Where it's like, so many games needed an editor. I could wildly hack at that game with a machete. And whatever was removed, would nothing of use would be lost. Nothing of value would be lost. So many games could use an editor. Pillars is one of those games where it thinks having a high word count makes it clever or intelligent. It doesn't. Perfection is achieved not when you have nothing left to add, but when there's nothing left to take away. This game is adding loads of dialogue to try and fluff out the lore, and it's like, no, I don't need this. This isn't necessary. The game would lose nothing by just being a bit straightforward every now and again.
But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back.
You and Abaddon had a unique connection then?
I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together.
Nearby you see a shark pass to a school of fish. Fish scatter, feeding the predator. Good to be reminded that we're in the goddess of waters domain then. That's what else I wanted to discuss about the eyeless.
Speak your mind.
You haven't given me the whole truth about the eyeless, have you? There's no have you. It is, you haven't given me the whole truth about the eyeless.
Careful what you accuse a god of, mortal.
I should get a bite to eat. I'm not me when I'm hungry. But Jesus Christ. The water around you is suddenly icy. You feel it sap the heat from your veins. Oh no! I dropped the rock. yeah, I'd love to just say sit down and shut up. I really would. Because I can. You know? It's like, it's no longer a secret, at least to me. The gods are who they say they are. The gods are not who they say they are, rather. Let's keep going. Let's try and muddle through. Abaddon didn't create those creatures. He made him forget them. Otherwise, he might have remembered how he died.
And what if I did, mortal? It does him no harm to forget. On the contrary, it lifts a burden. If Abaddon remembered, it would threaten the harmony between the gods.
Okay, in the next sentence, I want you to explain to me why that matters.
It was not so long ago that conflict between us led to disaster in your world, and the death of one of our number.
What are you doing? What? Right. So why can't you take this elsewhere from another world of instead of Eora? Why can't you take this out on another lifeless world? Far, far away. I don't know.
Memory is but an image we create to make sense of the present. It carries no truth or meaning but what we ascribe. A slight alteration to it is a small price to pay for peace.
I'll be honest and say it's wrong to deceive him. I expect better from God. Just your gods. You should know better.
Memory deceives. It distorts. It reimagines. This is no different.
Memory is an image we create to make sense of the present. I'm just fundamentally at odds with Ondra here. I'm sorry.
The peace between the gods is already fragile. It will not withstand another shock. Speak your mind.
But so why does that matter, though? It brings ruin. Civilizations ebb and flow. This, that, and the other. What new purpose did you give them?
Some things that are forgotten must
Oh,
be not
goodness.
merely for the benefit of...
No.
There can be no second.
No.
The Eyeless were born to fulfill this task. Though even their creator...
You mean they
did
kill those who remember because you
They
want
are
them?
single-minded. They do not flinch when called upon to do what is
No.
needed. You may ask. On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant.
They draw attention to the very things you wish hidden. In my dreams, I've seen them swarming over the Deerwood.
Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora. And then the Eyeless shall rest once more.
Cleansing, right? This is great. Nice one. Love a bit of cleansing. Fuck's sake. I wanted to sympathise with Ondra, but no. I don't want to come across like I'm some mad fucking YouTube atheist or anything like that. I've had that phase. Yeah, but Jesus Christ, I mean, like, this is the one game that makes me want to hitch slap someone. Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah, I think Fabius Bile from 40k had a great idea. Like, I think, therefore I am. The so-called gods of chaos. They are mere forces of nature, powerful, yes, but not gods. They do not think. Therefore, they are not. And he says this looking up at, like, the manifestation of Slaanesh. Like, imagine if these here were, like, Slaanesh's jaw, or her crown, and that's his skull. You know? These stars are their eyes. You know? These pulses here. Blushes on her cheeks or whatever. Yeah, and he's looking up. He's just going now. And walks away. He has a nosebleed. I just want to do that. This isn't some lone tribe of dwarves. The Forge sees visitors from all over now. The eyeless will tear the Deerwood apart. It will never be forgotten. The sea life around you stirs back and forth, agitated, restless. Again, just every now and then there's a little bit of a reminder that you're in Ondra's realm. And I love my DM in D&D because they are consistent and constant with this stuff. If ever you're talking to a god, they are always reminding you of the presence of the god. They're reminding you of the environment that you're in. I love it. Yeah. Or like if you respond to something, you go, as you speak to this person, you know, you're wiping the sweat from your brow. It's like, how are you responding to the heat? How are you doing this and that and the other? You know, how are you feeling about presence bearing down on you? This sort of thing, or in a vision like this.
Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry.
Kato said that this is your doing, you must intervene. Yeah, let's say that.
The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care.
You know what? I will actually give them this. I don't particularly want to, but I'll accept it. The reason why the gods are idle bastards is not because they're lazy. It's because they are too powerful. I'll say that much.
I have done far too much already.
You're fucking right, you have. Kauta said they could be called off.
Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge.
Because of me, without any help from you.
In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well.
So you're saying that if the Red Serens took the Forge, they'd just kill the Red Serens? If you won't stop them, then I will.
Your determination is commendable. But the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck.
It may be costing me my life, I'll do what I must. Stoic.
I will give you what aid I can. I bade the eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairin's Scar. Know, too, that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do.
It'd be easy if you told me now.
Nothing I say will make sense until you see it for yourself, mortal. We share a common purpose now. I will see you through it when the time comes.
I will remove the hammer in the White Forge to stop the eyeless.
If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen. Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near.
I don't care. I'm a priest of Berath.
And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
And there's nothing you can do? In place of an answer, a sudden surge in the current from beneath sends you hurtling upward. The surface above you approaches fast, shifting and glimmering like quicksilver. You emerge soaking wet on the stone floor of the reliquary. gasping for breath as if you had been holding it for hours. Well. What's my stronghold need? Ivan's Cradle. Daring burglary recently cleaned out the Marriott Precious Relics at the Smith's Hall of Yogal. When each treasure stood, a string was tied. Each leaned back to... Okay. Okay, I'll send Devil of Karok. I'm gonna come back to this. I need a break. I think I'm gonna finish this all in one part. In fact, no, maybe let's finish this part. I'll get this uploaded, and then I can have some breakfast time. Yeah, take a break, chill out. Just pretend that exchange went a little bit better. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. It's definitely on.